my grand uncle. Imagine the story. And I was raised with that. But me, it was part of me. I can't tell anything. So the thing is, like in my creation, there is one of my creation I'm going to show you now. It's the Zeli. I will explain to you why I chose this creation. I designed this product in 2006. The idea of the project, it was to take the Arabic pattern, making at a shelf, but the idea behind is to make easy to produce because it's 8 times the same piece you put together. I've got the video, I show already lots of time this video. I've got the video in my computer, but I think you can understand. It's really one element you put together, you have the shelf. So easy to carry, easy to build, no glue, no screw, not expensive. And, and the thing is, like when I created this product in 2006, 2007, I had this interview for a magazine, and it's super hard for me always. And she came to me and said, Younes, can you tell me which part of your culture, is it the French or the Moroccan, the Mosquis, or it's like really like what did you do from a different culture to create this Zeli? And I'm like, yeah, because it's super hard. And I think again, try to think about everything and how it's going on. This is a brain, huh? So but I say the creation comes from the head, from the brain. It's an act of creation. It comes from everything you have inside of your head, and you put it together, and you create an object. So if the creation comes from the head, in the brain you have two sides, the left and the right side. So the left side is the interpretation, the right side is the creativity. It's what they said, okay? So if we take that, let's say that my left side is the French one, and the right side, it's the Moroccan one. So it's super caricatural, what you just see. Huh? But when I create something, and I will ask you exactly the same, when you speak English, you do something, you make a graffiti, a calligraphy, can you tell me which part of your brains you use? It's impossible, and for me it's exactly the same. I can't say to you that it's more my French or my Moroccan side or the cultural things. I don't know, I just do it. You understand what I mean? So it's something really, like, this idea of culture shock, it's even like something I can't understand. Because how I can have a shock inside of my brain? You understand? It's like it's impossible. So if I speak about that, and if I speak about my experience and all my families and stuff, I think it's not only me who is in this situation. I mean, like now with internet, that's why I use this picture of Oussa, you know, like chatting together on WhatsApp. We are like chatting, we are like seeing each other, using Instagram, sharing things. We went 2 days before eating Thai food in Kuwait. Now, look, think about that. Like, it's a culture shock? No, that's normal. Let's eat Thai. Let's eat sushi. No, 100 years ago, it wasn't possible. So perhaps, yes, 100 years ago, you could talk about culture shock. But now, we drive German cars, we speak English, we eat sushi. It's like, it's everyday collision then. It's like a shock every day, every second of our life. You know what I mean? And I don't think is that with the internet, it's like super easy. There is no... And I want to talk to you about something, two things actually. When I've done this presentation, I had an intern in my company, in my office, and she's German. And we start doing this, like I see pictures, do this, do that, etc. So she was working with me, and suddenly she stopped, looked at me, and she said, you know, my name is Anna Rosenkrantz. I'm from Germany, near Stuttgart. My grandmother was part of the Nazi party. And she was an intern in Morocco with a Moroccan, French, whatever you call it, design studio. Imagine how, again, you can push things even further. The girl was there and we were seeing each other, working to talk about culture shock and working together on this project. Imagine and I've got another example. My sister is born in Martinique. Yeah, my parents were hippies once. On a boat. It's part of the time that I will not explain. But the thing is, my sister just got a daughter, right? And the husband of my sister from Argentina, but with a family, German family from Argentina. When I went with Fernando, with the father of my niece, because she's born in France, with the passport, we came with 3 passports: the Moroccan, the French, and the Argentine passport. The girl behind the desk was like, you know, because she, and I'm going to show you a picture of my daughter. Voilà. I know the white sunglass or not doesn't fit me well, but voilà, she's here. Talk to her about culture shock. Explain the culture shock to her. Please, just do it. She will never understand. She will never understand. And the name, it's ironic, but the name of this little child, it's Uma. Uma Arabiya. It's ironic. We didn't, my sister didn't do that in purpose, but imagine. So what I want to say, talking about all that, is just the fact that the shock, for me, it's not the key. It's not what the word I want to use. I don't want to be in opposition with things. I don't want to, you know, I want to say something like, perhaps I will say after. I'm going to talk about my work and I will finish with an idea. And it's open idea. I want to discuss about it. And it's not, you know, it's thinking process, okay? So I will show you some of my work. So for example, there is this thing I've never shown before because it's a part project. It's called Nest Radio. I created a web radio with friends from Algeria and other countries. And we're creating this website where we stream music live. We met lots of producers, DJs all over the world. And it was an incredible experience because it's like, you know, I've done that like a joke with my friends. Well, we don't like the radio in Morocco. Let's create a radio. And we've done it actually. So, and it's working well. We have more than 30 people doing shows on our radio and stuff like that. So we have application because the idea, again, because I speak about these media things, the internet and all stuff. So we are in every iPhone, Android, web, etc., etc. And we created a compilation, Kafilah, because in the memory of Ibn Battuta, the traveler that traveled all over the world, actually, and who shared experience, who shared the culture, who learned from everywhere, everything. And we ask artists to produce music that are going to be free for everyone. We have 16 tracks. They are all free for download. They will be available in 2 or 3 months. And we have people from all over the world: Philippines, Iran, Paris, USA, Hong Kong, French, German, English people. And I'm going to play one track of one guy. He produced for us. This guy is Moroccan. He worked for Apple in California, and he produced this music for us. So please, can you play the music? Hey, DJ, put the records on. Music. No music. Music. No music. No music. I want to dance. Ah, si. Louder, please. Allez. No. No. Ah, second. Can we put louder, please? Please, upstairs. Voilà. So we create completely a remix. He's developing an idea about like sampling sounds and creating new sounds with the sample. So what you hear, the music behind, was actually not a sample from a record, but played. A bit louder, please. I love this part. I love this part. Can't cut it now. Thank you very much. You can turn off. So it's yeah. Thanks. Well, we can upload the. And it's gonna be super. So it's the first time someone hear this music. It's gonna be free download. All the compilation will be free download, and it's like you have some really acoustic music, electronic music. You have every genre of music. It's really the idea of making a compilation, and of this compilation, and we work on events and stuff like that around this theme of Ibn Battuta, Kafileh, etc., etc. Let's back to design product. And so this is one of my products because the Nest Radio thing is something apart, but I wanted to share with you this project because it's really something personal and it's completely in the idea of the culture love. And now I'm going to talk to you about more my products. I'm going to go fast because I think on the internet you have all my projects. You can check what I've done and there is... But I'm going to talk about the project from behind. So this teapot, it was more the idea of taking the teapot as it is, with the iconic form of the Moroccan teapot, and making modern and changing completely the shape of it. I've designed also this tray who reacts with the warmth of the tea. So when you don't prepare the tea, it's completely black. And as soon as you prepare the traditional Moroccan tea, you can see, coming from the tray, this pattern, this Arabic pattern, that appears with the warmth of the tea. You have also this heat. I've designed this heater, to get warm. And I was inspired by the qanun. The qanun is the traditional things that we use in houses to cook, to get warm, and to